Welcome to the show today, Ross Tinkham, leader at Podium. Ross, welcome.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are we doing? Thanks for having me today.
Excited to have you here. Thanks for being here. Hey, give us just a few words about Podium for our guests or for our audience who may not know you or the company.
Sure. Yeah. So we work with about 6,000 dealers in the U.S. Started about a decade ago as a reputation management solution, moved more into messaging chat space, and really as it's stood over the past 18 months, driving AI into market. We just believe there's incredible opportunity there to help dealers optimize processes both on the sales and service side of the business. We are very much an AI first organization, and that's primarily our engagement point with dealers today.
Ross, why are there so many AI companies coming out of the woodwork all of a sudden? Like it seems like 12 months ago it was kind of a buzzword and it never really delivered on the promise. Now it's everywhere. And then I'll share you my story from this week.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think just to take a little bit of a step back, it's a great question. I mean, I think we are at an inflection point with a novel technology that there's a lot of promise with. There's certainly some fear and concern around, right? Like, how will AI change the world in which we live? And it certainly will, right? One way or the other. But I think zooming back into retail automotive, like the market's been saturated. It's becoming more saturated. I can't think of a week that goes by where I'm not hearing about a new company that's entered into the AI space, right? That I know nothing about, never heard of before. But I think the promise for AI generally is like, how do we, as the industry continues to face pressure or headwinds, whatever those may be, AI is a tool that can absolutely help dealers run more efficiently, right? Optimize processes. And I think from just a customer engagement standpoint, deliver personalized experiences at scale. And so those three things are super important. And I think if done right, AI can absolutely deliver on all fronts there. There's still a lot of work to do. We're still super early though.
But it's not all equal. Not all companies are equal. So I want to share you a story. So I went into one of our stores that's recently had a leadership change in it and discovered that an AI tool, I won't name it because I want to throw them under the bus, that had been let loose in the BDC, was duplicating and triple and quadrupling leads. So the lead counts look good, but the quality was terrible because the BDC folks were having to go back in and kill them. And then it was bringing back leads from years ago. And kind of frustrating customers by bringing it back. So AI, by its very definition, is something you kind of set, and then some people would say forget. Like, you can't have that happening in a dealership operation. That doesn't create a great experience, and it frustrates the consumer, and it creates less credibility with our teams because they're not wanting to. They may be willing to engage with the leads less, right? Have you seen that where it can also do? It can also create some challenges, Ross.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly, I think okay, so at its core, I think here is like the challenge that we face. This is a product that most people have simply not purchased before. So like, do you know, I think a lot of the conversation around this needs to be, how do you purchase an AI solution? Whatever that may be. Conversation AI that engages with your prospects, but every solution that you buy is going to have AI running through it, underneath it, on the top of it in one way, shape, or form. And so people aren't educated on how to buy and don't know the right questions to ask. And I think the unfortunate reality that presents is you see a lot of dealers who've invested in an AI solution without asking the right questions, especially around integrations, right? So we're having this conversation around the connectivity of data, silo data in different systems. We can tell you we integrate with that system, but like, what does that really mean? Like, those are things you really need to dig into and understand. And you do need to have some technical knowledge around AI to ask those right questions. So people haven't bought it before. They don't know what to ask. And a lot of the conversation I have with dealers is, hey, set Podium aside for a minute. Any AI solution that you're looking at, like, here are 3 or 4 really important things to think about. And just to I'll quickly jog through that list. You need to understand what an LLM is, right? You need to understand what flexibility that company has with that LLM, because there's good LLMs in the market. The stack ranking of those will certainly change, right, as time goes on. And then certain models are good at certain things versus other things. The ability for AI to learn, right? Like, how do you train it? That's super important, right? What does this look like in the first 60, 90 days or the first year? How can you personalize this product to make it your own? So I think just like the feedback loop with AI, how do you train it? Just understanding how that solution is potentially future proofed, and then how does it integrate with your systems of record today are three really important things.
So those are all great questions. We need to have you back on an industry spotlight to give us a deeper dive, because I do truly feel like, as I've listened to different presentations from different companies, people can sort of say anything they want, and in automotive we don't have enough background to refute it until we see it as a train wreck, and we don't have time, we don't have the ability to test and fail a lot. We want to put a solution in that wins out the gate. And by the way, Podium was not that company. It was a completely other company, as you well know. So, but we want to get to the topics. A couple of interesting news bits from Podium that is just out. So, you just announced a partnership with Ford Direct. What
Yes.
what is your partnership with Ford Direct mean to the average general manager of a Ford store sitting there watching this show today? What does
Yeah.
it mean? What does it do?
Yeah, great question. We have been a partner with Ford Direct and really across most of the OEM programs for years in different capacities. But this has been our first the first program in which we have come to a mutual agreement to bring AI into that program. I think what it means for the dealer, uh, what is most important about this in the longer term is AI is only good as the data that feeds it. And so
Yeah,
I think as we move forward in time, and you start to see larger adoption of AI as a quote unquote category, right, that the OEMs care about and want to invest in, both for interest on the tier one side and for the dealers. What this allows us to do as time goes on is to get more and more data, customer journey data into AI to level up the amount of personalization and the quality of engagement that it can deliver. So from my perspective, it's really AI. Again, just to restate it, AI is only as good as the data that you feed it with. And this is an opportunity to feed it with even more data that really levels up the customer experience, because our AI is talking to your prospects and customers, and that experience needs to be as good as it possibly can be, right? At the
that
level of the
that's
human. So
that's a fascinating element of this AI, and the way, like, you have to teach it. It does have to learn. It does have to grow over time. So when you think about this technology and you think about BDCs, so BDCs have been around for at least 15 years, decades, right? What is something that most dealers get wrong when they think about BDCs and they think about AI? You talk about training, you talk about this deal with Ford. Ford obviously has confidence in you. They've vetted this product. What do most dealers get wrong about BDCs and AI technology?
well, I mean, I that it's here to take anyone's job. I would say, like, I think those who look at this technology the right way look at it as enabler, right? How do we take, well, it's not necessarily a mundane task. Like, lead response is incredibly important, right? Speed to lead, the quality of the engagement with leads, like super important. And so, number one, I think there's usually a lot to be gained there from most dealers who are missing leads overnight or have gaps in the day, and you're losing business as a result of that, right? And so, I think that's a component of it. But really, what this should do, if implemented the right way, is give your humans the ability to go focus on other revenue generating opportunities that they previously just didn't have the bandwidth to do. So from my perspective, this is an enabler. It's not like let's rip and replace our BDC department and save a bunch of money, because at the end of the day, yes, a human is more expensive than AI, but that's not where we're at. This should be a tool that gives your team, superpowers. Like, this is a helping hand to them. And I think the perception in a lot of cases is this is here to replace my people. And I just don't think that's where we're at.
In fact, it's a complete myth, isn't it? Like, if you remove the people from it, the people are what train and teach the AI and make sure that it doesn't come off the rails, proverbially, right? Like,
Well, yeah,
it's better if you engage with it, right?
100%. That's absolutely core to it. There is also the question of how far do you want it to take a conversation, right? Like, at some
Yeah.
point, like, it can do a lot of things. Like, we focus very heavily on scheduling test drives. We want to get people in the dealership on the showroom floor. Like, that's our end goal. And AI can do that on its own in a lot of cases, but in some cases it can't, right? Because the customer's asking questions that the dealer just doesn't want handled by
Yeah.
AI. They want to handle by a person. So
Yeah.
people are always part of the equation for sure.
So what was it that Ford saw as an OEM and Podium that decided that caused them to say, "Hey, we want to partner with Podium," given all the different solutions there are out there?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I think number one, like, solutions are never certified without dealer adoption, in my experience, right? Like there is
Yeah.
no, we're gonna bring you in if you're not working with our dealers. So that's certainly a part of it, and feedback from the dealers using the product. I think where we differentiate ourselves and where we pride ourselves is the quality of the conversation that our AI agent delivers, right? And so
Yeah.
the conversationality, the empathy to drive that conversation forward in a really human-like manner. The number one reason that we see dealers defect from another solution is they watch the conversations happen and they're just not good enough. And there's other
Yeah.
reasons. An integration doesn't work. I mean, there's all sorts of reasons, but the number one reason people are dissatisfied with an AI provider is the conversations just aren't good enough. And
Yeah.
so that's where we focus. Like conversations have to be good enough.
What should a dealer expect to pay when they think about Podium or another solution a month for that chat feature and some of the other AI features to engage with their CRM, their BDC? What's a
Yeah,
budget?
ballpark, I think you're looking at. So I mean, it depends on how many agents you buy, right? And so from my perspective, there's a specialized agent for sales and there's a specialized agent for service. And then with service, like voice really needs to be a component of that. It's not just
Yeah.
a seamless communication. So if you're buying like the whole thing, you're probably in the $3,000, $4,000 a month range potentially. If you're just looking at optimizing sales and buying like one agent or the other, you're probably looking at $1,500, $2,000 a month, rough ballpark.
Well, Ross, we appreciate you being on the Daily Dealer Live. Just last question. Is there any new technology or any advancement that you're thinking about in automotive as it relates to Podium or technology in general that you guys are working towards?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot that we're working on. I think voice is the next frontier, right?
Yeah.
Like most voice solutions, when you talk to it today, it clearly is not a human being. Uh, and so when the technology gets there, like voice will be the next communication channel that AI is here to help you optimize, right? And so that's that's a 2025 thing, right? That's not a
Yeah.
long term, that's a up next in this year scenario.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we appreciate your perspectives, Ross. Tinkham, Podium, appreciate you being on the show. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you
Thanks,
very much.
Russ.